How have you designed the product and what is the source of power to run the device?
What is the?
Source of power.
It is battery. We have battery. And what about the design as in?
The design of the product.
It's like this.
The hardware.
Why? How you made it the design? How you made the design?
Okay, what is the logic behind the design? Okay, so we have done a lot of usability studies. So my background is in user experience. That made it a little bit easier. So we have also done studies where we have tried to. Initially, if you see, we had a glove design. Now we are moving away from the glove design. So when people say TerraBlue and Rajlakshmi, people remember the glove, so we think it is our duty to show them the glove. But actually we are moving away from glove and we are trying to come up with units like this, so that people can blend in and you don't have to tell anybody that you are wearing a medical device. You are wearing a watch, and whenever you want to measure something, only then you can do. Can you see these wires? Only then you attach it. Only then. Okay. Other time, even the watch will keep measuring you, but if like for the 99% accuracy, you have to wear this. So we will recommend that you wear this at night, at least twice a day. And if somebody is like having chronic conditions, then they wear it as required.
There are many devices in the market which runs through blood pressure or pulse rate. So do you have anything in your mind to develop your product?
We take pulse rate from here.
No, the device without the battery, running with the help of pulse rate.
Okay.
So the body actually generates. What you're saying is, as a theoretical, if you think of it, because we generate electricity, if you think of it, we should actually be able to power a room like this. But if the reality is that we generate very, very tiny amounts of electricity. Okay, so therefore theoretically it is possible, and you can also write a paper. I can do that, saying that we will power something with our body energy. But it's not practical. That is why you won't see them in the market very soon. But these devices where people run and walk, they generate, that is possible because you are actually, using it.
Yeah.
Does it have any connection with motor neuron disease?
Yes, it
especially in
does.
terms of diagnosis, because it has been always tough to diagnose motor neuron.
Absolutely. So we are taking up research in those areas. And basically, see, what we can right now do is we can see the efficacy of medicine. Okay, we have not done a clinical research study on motor neuron diseases. Okay, you might be talking about fibromyalgia and things like that. Okay, so we have not ourselves done a research to see the evolution or the progress of this. But what we can generalize from our other studies is that for whatever the condition is, we can see the efficacy of medicine. Because even if it is for motor neuron, their activity levels will come up, down, depending upon the progress. That we can definitely study. But we have not done a separate study so far. We have not, but we will be careful.
As you are very new to this business field, how you make people agree to work with you?
How I make people to agree
Work with you on startups.
to work with. That's what the first thing is.
You should be asking that question.
You want to answer? I will say something and you have to then kind of support me because the salary is pending. So the first thing is that you really need to give people reason to join you. Okay. Of course, salary, that is you have to give them means to survive. That is goes without saying. But I guess people will join you if they really see value in what you are doing. And they say that the people that are working in my data science team, they know that it is the quality of their algorithms can greatly define whether a person will stay alive or go in the next couple of hours. It's very, very powerful. Right? So for many of them, it is that what you can do whatever we are doing, these 22 people are doing in my organization, that are actually going to change the lives of some people, whether for the good or the bad. And that is actually a very powerful thing, and maybe I am not responsible for that. No, it is, the work is like that, and they like the work, and we have a very small office. They're fine with it. They've made all kinds of sacrifices. So they see value. I said seeing value is something that is very important. We have IITians also in our company. We have PhDs. We have got a very, very good, amazing team, very strong. Okay, I don't think no amount of money can lure them. It is just the lure of the work.
And while presenting in front of jury members when you started, so as you said, like every time you were rejected. So what made you motivate? Like first was your child, but second thing is when starting a company, it's really you need some motivation, because every time you feel like when you're rejected, somewhere I'm wrong.
No, sorry.
Many times, like
No, doesn't matter. The way I look at the world, it's not necessary that you look at it the same way. And that's it. And then the other thing is, I should also try to look at things from your perspective, right? You also have a point. If I were the investor, would I put money on this rookie woman standing in front of me and pretending to be a CEO? No. That's my hard-earned money, so I have a right to, choose and reject. If you look at it that way, you don't feel the pain of rejection.
did you had a prototype that time?
I did. I had a prototype right from the beginning. I created a prototype, got it validated by doctors, had all the every documentation ready. I told them why this signal is going to correlate with this and why this is going to happen in this way, and I showed them papers that were cited more than 100 times, so they were like, couldn't say anything about it. So I did that before I started talking to people.
Now, at what stage this particular?
We are, for this product, we are going to commercialize now, and we're hoping if we get properly funded, it will come out by June.
Ma'am, one question, ma'am. Like, we have seen that how effective it is, like in rural areas, like connecting the people in a rural place. So it could be a bit difficult in cities if we compare there. Like this technology could be used in that way. Like those hospitals can connect.
Yeah.
People who have.
So yes, so that's where the point of making money comes into play. Okay. So if we were to make up, all of you, you have to think of it. If you're thinking of launching a product, okay, you have to first of all come up with a rational price. Not excessive, not very less, but something in such a sweet spot that it will help you cover your cost and have a decent turnover so that you can continue with your operations. Okay. My thought process of whether I will be going to rural India first or whether should we be selling to Europe first came from that. If we focus, that is a dream, to make sure that we go to the most remote, we have done some POCs there. But the way I look at that project is very different from the way I look at selling these devices in Europe. In India, what we are thinking, we have a remote consulting platform. So the model is that we give a couple of these devices to government. So we are working a lot with governments. Okay? So we give it to the government, and then the government can then distribute it per village, 1 or 2 or 3 of these devices, and then they can, via the remote consulting platform, people can connect with the doctors. So we are not looking at a model in remote India where everybody is buying one of these devices, but they're still getting the benefit of it. Okay. But in say Europe, we are looking at it. That's where our revenue is going to come majorly. So we have to make it attractive. It has to be world class. And there's a lot of cost involved. We have to recover it. So it's sold at a particular price. So that is our strategy for going rural versus going to urban India. Done? Thank you so much.
To meet Ms. Rajlakshmi Borthakur, during an event organized by Government of Assam, it was a road show for investors. So I got an invite, I met her there. And the reason why, I requested her to visit our campus is not just because it was Ivanka, okay? Because I read about it, of course it was Ivanka who told me about her, right? But I read about it, and then, as an entrepreneurship evangelist, as a professor of entrepreneurship, what we teach in the class, I have some students sitting here, precisely, like I always keep telling, it is not about make in India, but it is innovate in India. And she is a classic example of innovating in India. And what she presented today, what she talked about her journey, you will see so many beautiful things about, business management, entrepreneurship. She highlighted, first thing about the customer need. How do we recognize a need? It is so important, It is not just emotion, it is also about really making business sense, understanding a customer need. How do you understand it? Can you find out that need? That is one thing. Another very interesting thing she talked about, see, we also need, along with business, we also need the passion. So passion comes from the purpose. The purpose, why she is there. She talked about the heart in the right place is so important, because if you go to the definition of entrepreneurship, it says that, it needs time and effort. So to put the time and the effort, that, you need to have that passion which comes from a right purpose. And how do you create a vision and the communication? Some of the questions you asked about, like how do you, attract people, and startups cannot afford mediocrity. To be a startup, you have to have talent. How do you compete with, all these giants? So, that is where comes superordinate goals, the vision. The vision that she has created, helps that talent to, you are able to attract and draw talent. So these are some of the lessons, from your journey. And we know that, you maintain such a kind of hectic schedule. And thank you so much that you have given us the time and, share your journey and inspire all of us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.